Guitar time. Look at all these guitars. Wait, how do I do this? This guy, this that guy has nylon strings. That guy has plastic strings. They're both tuned crazy, so we won't be playing them. But there they are. And plus we have this guitar that I'm really gonna play. So let's see. And you're grabbing your guitar as well. Let's go post this on the website. Otherwise, nobody will know we're here. The website is denverguitarorchestra.com. And on that website, you'll get our weekly playlist, 3 free books of sheet music, plus extra random pieces of sheet music, and then videos and how to play and all that good stuff. So let's see if I did this correctly. I think I did. Probably didn't. Click. No, that's yesterday's link. Today's link. Settings. I did. Update, and then patience, and then view page. Over here, we hit that button. We hit this button. Scroll down. Double check that the link is working. Dun, dun, dun. Denver Guitar Orchestra number 391 since the pandemic began. We used to do it multiple times a day. Now we're doing it down to 2 times a week. And we have a lot of great music to play tonight, so hopefully you're ready to get going. https:// denverguitarorchestra.com, and then that comes up and that works. Okay, did that right. Guitar logo tweet. We are now tweeted, and I get things that look like, ooh, notification, and then it turns out it's just me logging in. Sandy is here, up from Upper Michigan. Vic is here, in from Eugene, and we are ready to play. We are sort of in the middle of book 1, and so we don't need to talk about a million things. We should just be able to play, theoretically. In book 2, we are wrapping up book 2. Right? Wheels on the Bus is coming up this week, which is everybody's favorite song. And then Kumbaya, Las Mañanitas tonight, and then we have 6 classic tunes. On the classical stuff, guys, those of you who are working through that program, I updated all 6 pieces of sheet music. The first 4 were just typographical stuff, nothing you need to worry about. So if you've already downloaded it and have it in your book, I wouldn't update it. Nothing on the playing part has changed. Just doodaddy stuff I'm caring about. But on the last 2, Siciliano and Acadian Lullaby, those are significantly different than I had before. Quite a bit of changes on those, so you may want to download those updated sheets. If you want to have the most current version of everything, just update all 6 of them and you'll be set. Other than that, no changes this week. So let's go into Guitar Book 1. We're going to play Farmer in the Dell, which of course is everybody's favorite song. And I've been playing this, I'm pretty sure, after today, that this guitar is going to start fighting back. I've been playing it so much. I gotta put a battery in that. Let's try this one. And grabs onto the metal strings and it won't let them go until it goes pop, pop. And so it's because this is a little bit too tight. A little bit of sandpaper will have that problem. All right, good. Book 1, you should know what the phrase that pays is. Waits for it. Eddie 8 Dynamite Good by Eddie. Number 2, you own a Snark tuner. The Snark Super Tight super tight HZ. I think it's ST8 on Amazon. That's the one you want. You don't want any of the other ones. I'm not getting paid by them, but I own lots of the other ones, and they're all junk. You want to have your thumb on the back of the neck where I can't see it. It hangs out behind wherever your middle finger is. That's what you should have gotten so far. You also know how to play E chord and A chord. You also know how to read the melody from tablature. Okay, so today we're going to do first on Farmer in the Dell. Make sure your A chord, index, middle, ring, strings 4, 3, and 2. I had a young woman join the guitar group here in Lakewood last week. She had really long fingernails. I said, you got to cut these off and grow these out. And she says, yeah, I'm thinking about getting rid of all of them. And I'm like, oh, I hate that, because they look really pretty, but you can't have long fingernails on this end. It's theoretically possible that it would be helpful to have long fingernails on this hand. If you're a classical guitar player or a fingerstyle player, but I've tried to grow mine out, and it's a mess, so I just chop mine off now on both hands. All right, your A chord, remember you're rooted on the 5th string. You try not to hit the 6th string. Okay, and then we're in 6, so we have 2 beats. So either thumb down is the farmer in the dell, right? 2 down, two strums per measure. Or if you want to use your index finger, down, up, down, up. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. Okay, that's your up and down with your index finger. I just try to keep it simple. Or your cloth position. 1, 2, 3, 4. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. And then the other fancy one we talked about is arpeggio plucking. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. Okay, that feels very slow, but you could do that. And then the other one that's sometimes fun is it's a hybrid one where it's thumb, pluck, the farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. Okay, so any of those that you want to do, let's sing the first verse and the last verse. I'm about to sing, you guys know it's terrible, from the top. 1, 2, the farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. The cheese stands alone, the cheese stands alone, hi-ho the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone. Okay, so luckily we don't have to do anything with the chord, it just hangs out. And so when we do these 1-chord songs, that's the time to be practicing all these other different choices that you have with your right hand. Biggest way that you can sound much more professional and much fancier is doing something different with your right hand. So many players I see da 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 da, which is fine, except that it gets real boring real fast. And so the way you make your playing much more interesting is with right hand techniques. All right, let's play the melody now. And I encouraged you, grab your A chord, and then the only thing I want you to do is move your ring finger when it's time on this song. Okay, we'll play it through 2 times. Play the whole thing with your thumb, and basically plant your index and middle finger. Don't move them. All you're going to do is move your ring finger. Okay, from the top. 1, 2. Lift up your ring finger and put it back. First string, ring finger, no. Keep going. Now, I always encourage you on melody to play with your thumb, because I think you can generally almost always do it, and you're just playing a straight line of notes, so your thumb will probably work out fine. However, it's not a bad idea to go back through and always think about index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. Because then you're starting to exercise those skills you'll need for both fingerstyle and classical. And it gets you, and once you start to do it, it's super hard in the beginning, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So let's try that just for fun, one time through. 1, 2. Takes a lot more concentration, and it is. And I made one place where I double. I think I double indexed. But you're going to be doing that a lot in classical: index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, and you do it some in fingerstyle as well. So not a bad idea to be just as you're playing melody, play it through with your thumb, make sure you know how it goes, then go back through and play with index, middle, index, middle. You can work in your ring finger, but generally you don't have to. And so getting comfy with index, middle. Hey Linda, welcome in. All right, so the last thing we talked about on Farmer in the Dell, you're not absolutely required to do this, but you might as well, because we're going to be doing this for sure on the next song, is looking at that tough axe. Now, all you're going to do is hold everything like you did. You're still going to move your ring finger around when you need to, but we're going to strum over multiple strings. So the first note's a 2, and then 0, 2, 2, and then some 2s, and then a little strum. Second string open, and then put that right back down, and then play 4 strings. 4 more strings. Some decorative notes here. Okay, then all of these. Ring finger on the 2, and then back to this normal spot. Lift your ring finger up, put it back down, play 4 strings. Up, and then there's 3 strings, 2 decorative notes, okay, and then that note is the turnaround to send you back up to the top. Doing it that way is called, I call that tough axe, right? Mostly just your thumb, but you can also play it claw style, and then it's going to feel a little more classical to you. Okay, let's give that a try. 1, 2. Jump to the second ending. Both of those techniques are going to come up. So be working on this tough axe stuff with your thumb and with your claw plucking, and the two of those will come together, and all of a sudden you're going to be a fine guitar player, and you're going to be at this much higher level than most people get. You're also going to be at a level where you can play quite happily for the rest of your life. Every single night you sit down and there's another puzzle that's in front of you. Different than when you do chords. When you do chords, you get pretty good at 6 or 8 chords, and then you can play, all of this stuff, but it starts to feel very samey after a while. Whereas with fingerstyle or classical music, there's always, every single day, every single piece of music gives you a whole new set of problems to solve, and brings, that's part of the joy of it, right? It's also part of the aggravation. All right, this week you guys are going to be working on Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And Row, Row, Row Your Boat is what I consider to be the first and true finger-style piece that you're going to play, okay? So first, let's learn the new chord. It's a D chord. Index finger on top, 2nd fret, 3rd string. Middle finger on the bottom string, 2nd fret. And then ring finger up here, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, okay? And with D, we anchor it on the 3rd string, your D string, okay? I always feel sad, like, we have extra strings we're not using. It's okay. Okay. If you hit the 5th string, it's fine, but don't hit the 6th string. It doesn't. The E string doesn't get along with the D chord at all. Okay. So that's your chord. Now, if you're singing this, you just use the D chord. Okay, let's do it. 1. Oh, by the way, we're in 6 again, so we count in 2. 1, 2. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, now thumb down. Ready, go. Row, row, row your boat right across the lake. Don't stand up and rock the boat, oh, that's a big mistake. Okay, I got the words all screwed up on that second line. I'm going to fix those one of these days. And then I added a guitar-specific verse. Okay, let's do thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck. Shred, shred, shred your axe. Rock like you're a star. E-A-D-G-B-E, don't you dare mess with me, master of guitar. Okay, so there's your new verse, which should have been the original verse. Let's play melody. Okay, you got 2s and 3s in the first part of it, and then look what happens in measure 5. You're going to have to go all the way up here to the 10th fret. Okay, so take a moment. Yeah, you probably have a dot on 5. You probably have a dot on 7. Good chance you have a dot on 9, and so make sure you know where your 10 is, and then you got probably some sort of doodad at 12. Okay, so you're going to need to play the melody. You're going to take your index finger and cover up both 10s on the first 2 strings. Okay, so what I think you should do is play just in first position. Use your middle finger for the 2s and your ring finger for the 3s. You're going to have a 5 come up, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe that's not great. Maybe I should play in second position. Use my index finger for the 2s, middle fingers for the 3s, and that allows me to use my pinky on the 5s. Aha, that's probably a better plan. Let's do that. So middle finger on the 3 of the 2nd fret. Let's play the melody. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, oh, 2, 2, oh, 2, 3, pinky, 5, all the way down to the 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, index on 2, 2, 2, 2, middle on 3, 3, 3, pinky. Okay, wiggle your middle finger just a little bit to get a vibrato out of that last note. Okay, here we go. One more time from the top. 1, 2. Okay, pretty little tune. Okay, now let's talk the last thing. This is the hard job for the week, is to start with your D chord on. We're going to play 3 strings, the 0, the 2, and the 3. Now notice my thumb is resting on the string I'm not going to play. It's called a rest stroke. It's very critical that we begin to get comfy with rest stroke. Your thumb is going to rest on the string you're not going to play. So you play that 3 times. Row, row, row. Now you have a 0, so just lift up your middle finger and then put it right back down. Okay, and then another D chord. Lift it up again, put it back down again. And use your pinky to hit the 3. And then you're going to slide up to 5. Now you're probably going to need to do index, middle, and pinky, and so you're going to be in this shape, and then you're just going to move your middle finger up and your pinky out there. So it's index, middle, and pinky probably, okay? And then strum those 4. Couple of decorative notes. here's where it gets kind of cool. Go down, do the same thing with your 10s, both 10s, but put your middle finger on the 11th of the 3rd string. Okay? Then you're going to play 10, 10, 10, plucking the strings 1 and 2, and then you pluck strings 2 and 3, 10s and 11s. Okay, and I did get a call, email from someone in Japan one time, and she says, "Hey, do you know you can play the next set of notes up here as well?" And you can, absolutely right, super smart thinking, but that isn't really what the sheet music's calling for here. What it's calling for is, and then jump like heck down to this, to your D chord. The reason it's calling for that is that's a skill I gotta have you be able to do when you play fingerstyle. Yeah, we could absolutely play the whole thing up here if we needed to, but we don't want to in this case. Okay, it was super smart of her to figure that out on her own. I was like, yeah, heck yeah, man, nice job. So at major 6, you're gonna pluck 3 strings, and then without moving your chord, you're gonna pluck the other 3 strings, strings 4, 3, and 2. What I'm going to do here is I've got my D chord on. I can reach my pinky out here and hit the 5. Most of the time your guitars are too big. I can on this little guitar. Big guitar is really hard to do. So really easier just to adjust your chord to be index, middle, and pinky. You're going to be much easier to play that. 0, 2, 3, 5. I'd probably strum them. Ring finger on the 3. Regular D shape. Up your middle finger, and then 3 strings, 2 decorative notes. Okay, let me play it for you. What I would like to hear you working on this week from the top. Playing the D chord, but you're playing D chord in 2 separate places. D chord down here, D chord up here, using 2 separate techniques, right? One is the thumb down technique, and then through that middle section, measures 5 and 6, I'm using the plucking technique to create a little bit of variation in the play. So that's what we'll work on next week. You guys will let me know how it's going, and this is the piece of paper where we officially turn you loose on fingerstyle. The nice part about this piece of music is it's got everything on here I'd want you to be able to have. You've got 2 separate chord shapes. You have the melody, you have the harmony. It's a song that nobody hates, I don't think. And and frankly, with these days when I'm doing it, I only think of the guitar line, shred, 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 Morax, right? That's what I'm actually playing in my head. So that's your song for the week. It's a big deal. When you get to row, row, row your boat, you've officially entered, we let you into the kingdom. And then after that, it's just going to be a whole lot more of the same, figuring out how each tune works. Okay, if you're in book 1, you're set. Book 2. Let's go take a look at Tom Dooley. We're just going to play it and move on. One of my least favorite songs in the world, Tom Dooley. I like the melody. I don't like the song. Let's play it a couple of times through. Let's play it several times through. First of all, let's play D chords and A7 singing it. Then we'll play it through just the melody one time or two. One time they'll be playing, and then we will play the tough part. Okay. So first, grab your chords. Big thing when you're doing D and getting to A7 is you're already got this shape in place. So just raise it up, and lift your finger up, lift your ring finger up, and then D it back. Okay. So not a ton of motion. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Poor boy, you're bound to die. 4 beats per measure, nothing too complicated. Then the second time through, let's try, let's do the boom chuck. Boom chuck, boom chuck, boom chuck, boom chuck. Met her upon the mountain, boom chuck. There you took her life, chuck, boom. Met her upon the mountain and stabbed her with a knife. Okay, so you can see that sounds way more country cowboyish than the other way, and so maybe you want to think about that. Let's do one last way, the arpeggio picking. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, middle. Reckon this time tomorrow, reckon just where you'll be, down in some lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. So all of those give you a way different feeling if you're a singer, and so you want to, again, when chords are one thing, getting a cool accompaniment with those chords is here. I'm teaching one student now, Gary, who's been logged in a few times here, who is a very fine player, very fine guitarist, and he says, man, I was doing Travis picking, and I was getting a little bit bored, and then I ran across Tough Axe, and the nice part is now you can bring in all of those other chord skills to this as well, and you'll end up with some really nice pieces of music. Let's play the melody one time through. You know how this goes from the top. It's all 2s and 3s, right? So I'd say probably first position. don't overthink it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fascinating thing about this is the melody in measure 1 and the melody in measure 5 are identical, but they have different chords underneath them, and so when you get to measure 5, you're pretty sure you're losing your mind that you're using different chords that you're theoretically using this A7, but for all the world it looks exactly like a D chord underneath there. And so the only way you know that is probably to sing it. Okay. All right. Then the Tough Axe. Let's see how we do. Start with your D shape. Whatever the first chord is, that's what you grab first. From the top, I'm going to use my thumb the first time through, and then the claw the second time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strings. From plucking, ready, go. Yeah, every time the measure 5 just drives me crazy. It's just way harder to play than you'd think. So I'm gonna make myself an odd fix. Five, Good. All right, so there's Tom Dooley. That's enough on Tom Dooley. Hate that song. Let's move on to the bigger challenge for you for the week. If you're book 2, this is definitely going to be sort of essential work here. Dumbest song in the world, but you know it, and you got the F chord. Okay, so remember, it's just an E chord. We're going to move it up and make it an F. Okay, and don't lose those of you guys that are coming to orchestra. Most of you guys are, right? You're going to move it up to 3 for a G chord, and you move it up to 5 for an A chord. Okay, and now you can play Spanish music. That's Spanish or not, but it feels a little like oh that's what I want to do. Okay, we're going to use that exact concept for Wheels on the Bus. I'd say generally speaking, your E shape moved up 1 fret is going to cover most of those middle strings, so you really got to focus in on getting this top string down and these bottom 2 down. So your bar doesn't have to be perfect, right? It could be held down more on the top and more on the bottom. Okay, I have a hard time with that. I've been working on it. Or you could just, if it's easier, lay a nice flat bar across to everybody. Okay. That usually works for me. Okay, grab your F chord. Let's sing for a little bit. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Then you're going to jump to a C chord, round and round, and then back to the F chord, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, and the C chord all through the town. Okay, and then you're going to do that. I'd recommend doing it every single verse, right? I just do it over and over. In the beginning, sometimes your chord is going to sound round and round, round and round, round and round. Right? Don't worry about it sounding terrible. It'll come around. Okay, but it's not going to come around right away. So just let yourself hit some bad notes. Okay, and you'll have that. We won't waste our time on the melody. The melody, you know. And so then let's talk about the tough acts, which you'll work on a little bit this week. Don't be deceived by the notation. It looks pretty straightforward, but you really do want to go ahead and put your F chord on to make it work. Okay? Okay, you hear what's going on there? I'm just playing what's there with holding an F. I haven't had to move anything. Put this C chord on, and back to the F chord. Now that one you got to lift everybody up. You're going to have to lift the bar and your middle finger up to get 3-3-0. Put it back down. Okay, you're almost going to have to pluck it to make any sense of this song. And then C chord. So I tried to be smarter than I tried to be smarter and I messed it up. Just grab your F chord there. And then that sends you back to the top. I want you to spend less time on the tough acts on this one because you're never going to play it that way. Play it once or twice because we will play it next week. But really, I want you to spend your time on singing this one, or humming it if you hate singing. And then just, you know where the chord changes are. You can feel them coming in your head and your whole heart and your whole body. Just stare at these fingers. Stare at this chord. F, 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 C, 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 F, 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 and that way you're just staring at this, trying to get it on as quickly and as cleanly as possible. Let your sounds be crummy. Can you get that where you can go super fast between the two? Hopefully you can. F chord, it takes years to get where you're comfortable with it. So it's the last thing in the book, book 2. Once you play Wheels on the Bus, you can officially you can decide bagpipes are the way to go. But I would say spend quite a bit of time on F and C. It's going to come up. It comes up a lot. F chord is never going away. We're going to play in the key of C a lot, which has C, F, and G. And so you're going to be playing a lot of F chords. The sooner you get where you can accept the fact that your F chord doesn't sound that great, but you know how to get it on, and it's getting better all of the time, that's what you're after. Wheels on the Bus. Knock it out this week. All right, let's go into Kumbaya from book 3. And again, all you guys can play melody no matter what book you're in. So you should always just be, if I say, oh, we're going to play Kumbaya, you're like, okay, I'll play the melody part. Guitar, book 3. I don't see Kumbaya here. Where did I not move it over? J, K, Kumbaya, guitar. Here we go. Done. H-I-J. Kumbaya. All right. So, supposed to play it 3 times through. So, how are we doing on time? We're okay. Let's play it 3 times through. Okay. I'm going to play the first time through. I'm going to play chords and I'm going to sing it. The second time through, I'm going to play the melody only. And then the third time through, I'm going to play the tough acts. Okay. From the top, it's going to be a 2-beat count-in, not fast. 1, 2. Someone's crying, my Lord. Kumbaya. There's that F chord. 3, 4, 1, 2. Someone's crying, my Lord. 1, 2. Kumbaya, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Someone's crying, my Lord. 4, 1, 2. Kumbaya, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh Lord, 3, 4, 1. Oh Kumbaya, 2, 3. Someone's. Okay, I should probably have that be 2 measures long. Feels like you got to turn around real fast. I'm going to make myself a note that this should be 2 measures in the future. We were just talking about how important is C. I said you're gonna F chord and C chord is going to come up. You're going to be playing in the key of C, and there would be an F chord there. And what I totally forgot. There it is, right? So the work you put in on Wheels on the Bus pays off dividends when you get to Kumbaya, which is a real song, right? Because Wheels on the Bus is not really a real song, but Kumbaya is, and so here it's sitting there, just hanging out, waiting for you to get here and bring your Wheels on the Bus skills. The only thing that's in there different is E minor and the G. E minor is not a hard chord, and G you probably are at the point where it's going pretty well for you. All right, second time through, let's play the melody. 2-beat count in. You've got 1s and 3s, so if for sure first position makes sense. You are going to have some 5s sneak in, so you got to be looking ahead. You're probably going to play those with your pinky and then get back to first position. 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 4, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. Pickup, okay, and yeah, 15 should definitely be 2 measures. We need a longer let that music sort of flow out and then turn around. So when I update this sheet music, I'll turn that at 15. I'll add an extra measure in there just to give us more time to do some cool stuff before the a nice turnaround. Okay, last time through tough acts, we always slow way down, and you notice you got F chord. This F chord that we're going to need is a bar on 5 with your C shape. That's your middle and finger, as if there's a C down here. You're going to need this. That's the F chord you're going to need up there. Okay, and then this C chord down here, your pinky's going to be jumping in, doing the action as well. So let's see how we do. It's a lot of work. 1, 2. Started to play into the first repeat there. That's not an easy song by any means. It's in a pretty tough key, and there's a lot going on there musically that you got to be on top of as a guitar player. It really works, right? I'd say this is one of those songs where it says quarter note equals 100. Probably dial it back to about 70, and then you'll really be successful with it. Really pretty pleasant thing. When you get to those E minors, you're like, oh, that's really nice. I like that song. All right, so plenty of work there on that. Also, you guys are the harmonica group as well. Not a bad idea to go check and see how this version compares to that version and see if one of them makes a little bit more sense for you. But I would say that either way, they're both going to be in the key of C, and they're both going to be a whole lot of the same stuff going on in there. All right, beautiful. Let's talk Las Mañanitas. I'm continually amazed at how I think I have everything in this book, and then I don't. So let me grab it off the website. Go to the front page to get it. All right, Las Mañanitas, I believe, I think I'm right, is the happy birthday song in Mexico, I think. And so it's if at very minimum, it's that get out of bed. It's the morning is happening, and this is a beautiful, beautiful tune. So let's go through, talk about the chords. D chord. Let's see. Let me make sure I remember the melody. Yeah, let's play the melody first. Then it'll be easier to talk about the chords. So from the top, just the melody. It's going to hang around in first position, probably mostly around the D chord. 1, 2. Such a really cool song. So they're really pretty nice little melody there, right? So then when we talk chords, we're going to be D, A7. Remember, D and A7 are right next to each other. They're good friends. And you're going to have a G show up in there. That's it. Okay? Dun, 1, 2. Dun, dum, dum, da, 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 dum, da, 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 dum, da, 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 dum. Da da dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum, dum dum dum. That's the tough part. Da dum, da 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 dum, dum, da dum, da 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 dum, da da dum, da da dum, dum, da 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 dum. And then repeat. Okay, so there we go, right? D chord, not a problem. A7, not a problem. G chord, not a problem. D, G, A7, D, all on each beat, huge problem, right? So 7, go to major 7. Bum, 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 bum. It's all over the place. That's what I'd work on. And then we got just a minute to talk. Tough acts should not be particularly challenging for you, right? If you're a level 3, this is probably going to happen for you. Let's just play through it, make sure it's coming through. Gonna like this song. 1, 2. Second ending, you've got this bar on 7, pinky on 10. Okay, we use that in ukulele all the time. And it's a G chord on a ukulele, but it's on baritone, D7, and it's just, and it just puts a perfect bookend on it because you got your D note hanging out right there, okay? And it just bling, really pretty. Love that song a lot. So hopefully you have fun playing that one. And then that's it for books 1, 2, and 3. So if you were just doing fingerstyle stuff, you're done. Off you go. But of course, you're not going to do that because we have classical music to play. So let's go grab that. Guys, I played through everything a gajillion times today. I think that it's really solid stuff that we're playing today. And hopefully you had a chance to look at it this week. Like I said, I did what you had all week long with these 6 was fine. I just cleaned up a bunch of typographical stuff in the first 4, and on Siciliano and Acadian Lullaby, I added fancy uke, I don't know what to call it, where I take the chords and the classical music and turn it into a fingerstyle arrangement. A lot of fun to do that, and so hopefully you'll have well, when you take a look at it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I see what's going on here. But you don't have to do that, obviously. It's just another way of playing the same type of song. And then the Acadian Lullaby, I thought his arrangement was terrible, and so I left his arrangement as is. But I went through and did a much more, what I feel like is a much more energetic version of Acadian Lullaby. I actually like the song Acadian Lullaby, and I thought that arrangement that's in the book is kind of ruined it. And so. So I gave you what I think is a better one. Nothing against Peter Hudson. It was 1996. It was a long time ago. But I just don't. I didn't think it was good enough. All right, let's grab Branslett and Bransle le Poitou. Branslett de Poitou. Let's call it the Poitou song. 1520, right? 1520 to 1598. Probably Adrian wrote this. Probably 1580, 1590, somewhere in there. When you're playing music from that period, pre-Bach, you know that there's going to be weird stuff in there that's a little different than what we're used to. The nice part about this song is the whole thing makes sense from a modern perspective, and so I think just play it, just let the music, just remember it's all eighth notes, right? It's just going to keep coming at you, so just try to keep your tempo steady and it works perfectly. I don't think the chords here are particularly helpful, so just read the tab and I think you'll get it. Okay, from the top, 2-beat count in, 1, 2. Let me talk about one thing I did here, and it's been bugging me all day today. The turnaround from 13 back to 8. It's supposed to be quarter notes. You're supposed to keep a consistent tempo. Nothing in the music tells me that that's correct, right? Because nowhere else in the music do you hit this nice G chord, right? So that should have a fermato over the top of it, and then you go back in. So I want to play just the ending here. I want to do the 2-note pickup into 8, 0, 0, and then play from 8. And then when we get to 13, I want to hit that chord. I want it to ring out for a minute, and then I'll tell you go, and we'll do that pickup, and then we'll do 8 to the end. Okay, so the pickup, first time through, the pickup into measure 8. Okay, and let me just count 1, 2, and then we'll get going. Okay, 1, 2, go. Let it ring for a second, and then go. right? That G chord has to have a fermata on it. So, in a future edition of this, a fermata will magically appear there. And you'll just have this moment to let that ring, and then you go right back up. Bum, 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 bum. And this should be a dotted thing equals whatever. All right, so beautiful. Nice piece of music, not exactly exciting. It works. I think it would be a great one. I think it instills discipline, right? Eighth notes. Bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you can keep that steady, then you'll feel like, you know what, I'm playing classical music. I gotta keep this really tight and clean, and it'll work. It really does work. It's pretty hard, but it'll work. Okay? Now, let's go on to what I believe is my least favorite song in the entire book, even worse than Clang Builds. I hate this Moorish dance song. It feels like a whole lot of work for nothing. But I can see why it's in here. It is kind of cool. I mean, there's some parts of it that's like you play some bass notes, and then you play these eighth notes that feel really fast compared to the bass notes. And so it's a good exercise, probably. It's not a great song, and it doesn't sound like anything associated with the Moors of Spain to me, but that's what I titled it. So let's see how we do. You're probably definitely gonna benefit from using the chord shapes here. From the top, not fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I don't know. It's fine. I made a ton of mistakes, but I also think it's not worth the effort, generally speaking. There's way better songs out there to get us the same technique, which is, some bass notes along with a chord shape that's going to pop out a little bit of melody to it. So it feels more like an exercise than a song to me. And so if you love it, please know it's okay to love that song. It's just not for me. All right, let's move on to Dreams. Dreams is actually I love. I don't know what it is about it. It's so weird. And it's got essentially the same techniques going on in it. You've got some bassline melodies in a couple places. You have some arpeggios happening that are faster than the other parts of it. And it's a much more complex and much more interesting song. And it does kind of feel like Dreams a tiny bit. So hopefully this one, if you had to choose, like you're like, all right, I'm going to a desert island. I can take Moorish dance, or I can take Dreams with me. Take Dreams. I think you'll benefit from it. All right. Remember with this one, the count on these long notes is really important. So don't rush. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. want to play it again. Got to golf on a couple of spots there. I went through at measure 12 and wrote down fingering. Should be this index, middle, and then your ring is available for there. I, of course, did not play it that way, and of course then ended up in a pickle. I ran out of fingers. Okay? So it says exactly what you're supposed to do there, and I didn't do it. All right. From the top, one more time. This is a way better song than Moorish Dance and exactly the same skill set. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Get that. So the ending, measure 23, it says say ritardando, right? You're supposed to slow down there, but I somehow never talked myself into doing that, and you really do want to. It's like, yeah, slow down. He says to slow down. Slow down. Put a little yellow note on there. Slow down. Blum, 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 blum. That's a cool ending. All right, there's that. Next, how we doing on time? 7:03. I really love the next three songs. No, I love the next two songs, and then Acadian Lullaby is enough. So since it's already after 7, how about this? Let's call that our 3 for today. We'll play Carousel, Siciliano, and Acadian Lullaby. Plus, I'll add 2 others to the list for next week. The reason I don't want to rush through Carousel. Carousel is a great song, and Siciliano is a great song. So I'd rather just have plenty of time. If we only played those 2 next week, that'd be fine with me. But so that way, spend a little bit more time on Carousel, Siciliano. I wouldn't lose a ton of sleep over Acadian Lullaby, but Siciliano. I added a tough wax on there, kind of cute. And I wouldn't spend a ton of energy on Acadian Lullaby. There's better arrangements of it out there. And then the following week, Andantino and the Waltz by Zenemon are all really cool songs. And so we'll have plenty of good music for next week. We'll add on a couple more and see how many we can get to. Hope you guys have a great week. Hopefully guitar's happening for you ideally every day, but at least a few times a week. And I do know the one thing I know about this instrument is you got to keep up on it, and it's hard work, but it does pay off. It doesn't pay off very quickly. It pays off faster than piano, but it sure doesn't pay off that quickly. And the way it will pay you back is if you can get real consistent on your practice. If you guys are playing all of the songs we played today, we played a ton of music. If you're playing all of that stuff at any level, that's what you need to do, right? And you will suddenly become a much better guitar player than everybody you know. All of a sudden, you'll be the best one, and that's really cool. That's going to be a cool feeling, and you may already be there. Okay, so thanks for being here, guys. I will see you. Either harmonica on Thursday or ukulele on Friday and harmonica on Friday. I don't know. I'll see you down the road somewhere. Have a great evening. Thanks for being here. Peace.